Well, another Losers Lounge
We're
in
back.
the preseason. We're so back. We are so back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Losers Lounge. We are presented by Bet365. Never ordinary. Download the Bet365 app. Use code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer. Find out why, whatever the moment is. It's never ordinary at Bet365, except when it comes to the NBA preseason. We are here in the Toyota Losers Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. I'm Harrison Wind. That's Brendan Vogt.
Fellas, how's it going? A real modern preseason game where a team played a bunch of worse players, shot way more threes and won. So this is fun. Really excited to be back in the Losers Lounge.
Wow, I love the energy. That's Superstar Dev.
What a rough day for Colorado fans.
Yeah, rough
It was
2
rough.
days.
But
Except for CSU, they won. Yep.
that rough weekend.
It's just the preseason, boys. But it does stink to lose to Ryan Dunn, all due respect, you know?
The Nuggets fall 118-114 to the Phoenix Suns in a game that it seems like Denver was kind of treating like a dress rehearsal. The Suns weren't, but the Nuggets still don't win. Denver is 0-3 in the preseason. They're right back at it on Tuesday, though. A quick turnaround for their next preseason game. So we got a lot to get into. We'll get into our big takeaways. We'll get into what we thought of Nikola Jokic, Russell Westbrook, Jamal Murray's nights as well. But definitely a lot to get into. Let's hit a quick recap because I need to run this game back for you guys real quick. So like I was saying, it seems like the Nuggets treated this kind of like a dress rehearsal, right? Regular starters for the Nuggets.
At first.
Not for the Suns, who I don't think played any of their starters, even though a couple of them showed up to the CU Kansas State game last night. Nuggets played their starting five, got out to an early lead, 19-17. Denver starters were up. I thought some pretty interesting and notable rotation choices from Michael Malone that maybe shed a little bit of light on what he's thinking for the regular season. Russell Westbrook and Julian Strawther first subs into the game, and then Jamal Murray back into the game to play with those guys and Dario Saric. So a lot of mixing and matching late in the first quarter for Denver Stubbs. I thought Julian Strawther had a lot of good moments in the first half for sure. Hit a three, good shots, got a nice runner to go as well. Nuggets bench was also getting some good quality looks as well, which is something we're not that accustomed to.
Very true.
With Denver's second unit. The Nuggets went into halftime up 60-51. And then I thought this was maybe not surprising, but again, notable. To start the third quarter, Nuggets came back with their starters, except no Jamal Murray. The other four guys were out there. Russell Westbrook was in there for Jamal. The starters played until late in the third quarter. Actually, did they play the whole third quarter?
Just about.
I think they played pretty much the whole third quarter, and Denver actually got outscored in that quarter, 37-30. And then, they handed it over to the bench from there. Denver got outscored again in the fourth quarter, 30-24, and they lose 118-114. The Nuggets dropped to 0-3 in the preseason. That's how it went down.
Great recap, Harrison.
Thank you very much. Let's get into our Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways. There it is. Vogt, you're going to go first here, so I hope you got a big takeaway ready.
My big takeaway, we got the whole show to get into the Nuggets players, how they all played individually. I'm going to look big picture here. The Suns shot 51 threes in this game.
Jeez.
Now, they shot 45% on those threes as well, and I think a lot of that, your first instinct is shot luck. Let's call a spade a spade. Denver starters were not interested in playing defense tonight. They just did not. So those were a lot of comfortable open corner threes for guys who probably miss shots if you contest them. But the point being, 51 threes. I just think we're going to see more and more of this across this regular season. Teams shooting more threes. It worked for the Celtics. It's a copycat league. And I think it's just a really interesting position for Denver to be in. Booth talked at Media Day about how they don't want to try to be worse at something that everyone else is doing, especially when they have Jokic. There's a balance for them. They're not just going to jack up threes. That all makes sense in a close, tight game and when Denver's really competing on defense. But there are going to be games, I think, if they don't come out with their foot on the gas defensively, teams are going to get a bunch of threes up, and it can run away from them. So I'm not sitting here saying Denver needs to shoot 50 threes necessarily. I'm just keeping an eye on this. Like, how many times this year will we see teams get that many up? And if Denver isn't playing hard enough on defense, like, that's just the difference right there, regardless of what they did well on offense or not.
Yeah. That's an interesting takeaway, man. 51 takeaways is so many threes. And, I mean, when you hit 23 of them, you're probably going to win that game.
Yeah.
If you're Phoenix, even if you're not playing a single starter. The Nuggets, they've been saying, we want to shoot more threes. Well, some people with the team have been saying that. Michael Malone's been saying that. They shot 36 in this game. And, that was after they shot how many against the Celtics in this last game?
Yeah, that's a good question.
34. So that's a couple threes over their regular season average last year of 31 per game, which was the fewest in the league. But it's a notable difference, but not like a massive, massive one. So, yeah, I just think that's something interesting to track for sure.
Yeah, across the whole
What do you
season.
think about the threes, Dev?
The threes?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just a team like just trying to create their identity and like early on see what that looks like. And there's a push for trying to make more threes. Like we're getting back into that. So like that is interesting to see them do that run and gun style, especially a team like the Suns who are a lot of ISO heavy players.
Yeah.
So like this is them like trying to find a new identity or try to change the ISO heavy approach. I mean, granted, we didn't see them with Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, but like that's an interesting look.
What was your takeaway from this one?
My big takeaway is, and I know that there's a lot of people out there that's like, hey, it's just the preseason. So whatever overreaction that they see, you go back to that.
Yeah.
But I think that that's the issue, and that's what needs to change is that idea of this is just the preseason. Because if there's a team in the preseason that needs to show that they want to like get back into it, it's the Nuggets. Like they should be chomping at the bit to prove last year was like behind them and they need to be better. They lost a game 7 in like horrible fashion. They changed over their organization. They got a new max contract on their team. They have continuity and they're pushed out as being a contender. Like they should be ready to like prove everybody wrong. And then you go and you give a stinker like this where this could have been a dress rehearsal, but Michael Malone now chooses to like play his guys longer to like, hey, you guys need to want it. This is embarrassing. So I think that's my big takeaway is that you need to care more, or what are we doing it for?
This did seem like a tug of war, to Dev's point, between what Malone wanted this game to be and the starters. And yes, the rotations looked like a dress rehearsal to an extent, or at least the starters playing did, but he was imploring them to play defense, and they just kind of seemed to, with their play, say, you know what, coach, we've got a different idea about how tonight should go.
Yeah.
So that's, look, am I worried about them losing to the Ryan Dunn-led Suns in the regular season? No, but I understand what Dev is saying. Like, that's Malone wanted them to have a little competitiveness tonight, and I did think the intensity on defense was disappointing. I don't want to overstate any preseason loss. I don't think they're ever even that good in the preseason, the Nuggets, but that angle of it, I do get where Dev is coming from, and I certainly think Michael Malone agrees.
The first half, I thought, was an okay effort for the preseason. Just your standard preseason game. You're never going to replicate a regular season game in terms of effort intensity.
Never.
I thought the first half was okay in terms of that, but what was really most interesting to me was third quarter. Michael Malone rolls with his starters, again, except Jamal Murray. And I think all the reports I saw were he was fine, no injury. They were just giving him a rest.
That's what I saw.
Interesting. But they roll back with 4 of those 5 starters. Michael Malone does. And it seemed like those starters were like, why are we out here?
Yeah, a little bit.
That was the sense I got watching it. Michael Malone was like, all right, I want to see, some more run with the starters. I want to treat this as a dress rehearsal. Let's get those guys out there. Let's get some more time together for them, at least for 4 of the 5. And the other starters were like, wait, really?
Right. And I think maybe offensively there was some creativity. They tried some stuff. The inverted pick and roll, Jokic finds Westbrook.
There were
for
some
the
good
alley-oop.
moments for sure. Yeah.
Offensively, they were interested in trying stuff, and there's fun threads to pull on, I think. But yes, defensively, they just never seemed interested in treating this like a competitive game. And I don't want to just preemptively say they need to. I'll wait till they get off to a slow start or something before we have this conversation. But I understand that, like, Malone just wanted just a little bit of crispness, right? It's okay for them to look hungry right now. And there's a balance between looking hungry and not getting yourself hurt in preseason. And tonight they just clearly weren't that interested in it. So,
yeah. My big takeaway, I mean, I hate that we're so negative, but, like, again, they lost. They're 0-3. We're just breaking down the game. I mean, Jamal Murray looked like the worst starter on the floor today, and he finished with 2 points and on 1 of 6 shooting in 19 minutes. And I feel like I want to say he's just in preseason mode because that's what it looks like. It looks like he's just kind of going through the motions out there. And, all right, cool. It's preseason. Like, we don't need you to absolutely be playoff Jamal Murray, but before the preseason is up, I would love to see something that makes me go, oh, it's Jamal Murray. He's back. We can get out the bacometer. Here he is, Jamal Murray. And I was hoping tonight might be that night because all the starters were playing and because you were going up against a Suns team that honestly was rolling out a lineup that you should have run off the floor, even if you were playing at like 50%. So that was disappointing to me. Again, it's the preseason. It's whatever. You really can't be concerned about this until you see it in the regular season. But I was hoping for one stretch, one real half from Jamal Murray where we would go, oh, man, I can't wait to watch Jamal in the regular season,
Dude, like, the sky's not falling, but when it comes to Jamal, if there's one guy that truly needed to play and play well in the preseason, I think it's him. Like, he was, not great in the playoffs. He was horrible for the Olympics. The idea is that he's not himself anymore. He's had a horrible preseason. It's time to, like, do something to show, like, I'm back, I'm alive. Like, now there's higher expectations. And I feel like there was already high expectations when it came to Jamal. Some of it is, like, ungodly level that you cannot reach. But, like, that's what he has proved himself to be. So, like, right now, with that contract, you were supposed to go out there and prove everybody wrong. Like, hey, I'm still the Jamal that you guys all know. We have not seen that Jamal in quite some time right now. So, him not playing in this one for rest, what is the idea about him right now? That he's out of shape. Who needs to be running the most? Who needs to be out there playing?
Him. Who wasn't in the
It's
third.
Jamal.
Yeah.
So, like, rest. Say something else. Say he's injured or something if you're going to go with it. Don't continue this whole, like, he's fine, everything's okay. Things are not okay. So, like, now the conversation should turn to that.
I agree. We're not going to hammer him for it, but we almost have no choice. If you're going to say he's healthy, and this is a dress rehearsal, and all the starters are going to play, and I think you laid the case for why he in particular probably needs to most. You laid that case out well. It's hard to, I'm not going to ignore it. If he's not hurt, I wish he had played the third, but again, I'm not going to make a meal out of something that I think is ultimately, pretty small, but it's, look, at this time of year, things could either be encouraging or discouraging, and we've been starving for something encouraging from Jamal, and we didn't get it again tonight, I would say.
What's interesting is because, look, I can never put myself in an NBA player's shoes because that's just impossible, but if I tried to do that, I would think that somebody in his position would want to quiet some of the doubt, in the preseason that's been building up this summer. I would think he'd want to come out and be like, everybody that's been talking, I heard you, and that's not me. Like, I'm going to show you Jamal Murray. And it seems like he's just kind of cool going through the motions in the preseason. And I guess that's going to be fine if it comes to the regular season and he's good. And we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting to me how he seems okay with just kind of coasting right now.
Yeah, it seems to be all right. It's just he's not going to do it in the preseason, but I do hope he does it in the regular season because it's just not, the goodwill's not there, right? If we're waiting till June again, folks are going to get really antsy, and I'm not saying we will be necessarily because of tonight or something like that, but it could have been encouraging or discouraging, and I don't think it's in the former.
Yeah. One person who had an encouraging game, we can call it, is Nikola Jokic. Let's hit a break, though, and we will break down his game. We'll also talk about Michael Porter, Christian Braun, And the Nuggets, Julian Strawther, who tied for a team high in 21 points. We'll break all of that down after this.
It'll be me for these, Tiff, just so you know. Guys, first impressions are important. And so are lasting impressions, right? That's where Blue Chew comes in, fellas, because Blue Chew helps you boost your confidence in the bedroom so that you can perform your very best for 4 full quarters. What have we learned watching this team over the years? We all want a 4-quarter performance, fellas.
Yeah, we do.
It's not enough to just play well in the first quarter or the first half. That's where Blue Chew comes in, helping fellows perform strong for 4 quarters. They're the best at it. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. The process is simple. Sign up at bluechew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Plus, we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code ALLCITY at checkout. You pay just $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code ALLCITY to receive your first month free. Just pay $5 shipping. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast.
Also, make sure to check out the Game Time app if you want tickets to concert shows, sporting events. If you're in Denver, if you're anywhere, Game Time, they've got you covered. They have a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for your favorite live event even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so that you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. If you're looking for Nuggets tickets, Avs tickets, the Avs have started, man. 0-2, but their season's going. You can find all of that on the Game Time app. Broncos tickets as well. Buffs, Rams, whatever it might be. Concerts, shows, sporting events. Game Time has you covered. You can take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. But again, create an account. Redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. And we are back here in the DNVR Nuggets post-game lounge, the Losers Lounge, presented by Bet365. Never ordinary. Shout out to Bet365. Are you doing any preseason betting, Dev?
I'm always betting.
Oh, that was a stupid question. How have
That's
you
a
been
yes.
doing?
I'm always losing. No,
Okay.
I'm joking. I'm ready. I'm ready for the season.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
ready for the
still in
season.
preseason mode. Just
No, I'm always fine. Right now, I'm just going against the Nuggets. They haven't proved anything yet.
Wait, did you really pick? You didn't pick against the Nuggets today, did you?
Yes. Well, no, it's just a high. It was just too high of a spread.
Okay. But make sure to download the Bet365 app. Use code DNVR365 when you sign up. Let's get back into this. Nuggets fall 118-114 to the Suns. They're 0-3 in the preseason. Let's go to Jokic, though. I looked down at the box score after this game and was like, oh, he had a Sombor double. 21 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists in 30 minutes. He did have 6 turnovers, but I'll go to you first, Dev. Jokic's night is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
You happy with it?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I feel like this was a game that Jokic was involved mentally and interested for like 3 plays. And it was the 3 turnovers. Like, that was the only thing he was in it for. He's out there just trying things because it is too easy. It's too good, like, for him. I feel like he tried some new things in this game. Like, it seems like he's putting the emphasis on trying to just get the ball up the court as fast as possible.
Yeah, the pace has been notable.
That's way different than what he's used to. And that has led to some of those turnovers. But, like, that's just new. Him scoring and his touch around the rim is still there. The 3-point shot, I'm glad that he's like getting him up right now.
He's trying.
He's trying at least, like, because that is an area of his game where you can say he's not Jokic. Like, that's just not the level that he, that you expect from him. But he scores when he wants to. He does when he wants to, and also it looks like he's getting like back to like just strong, like putting on the weight to like just dominate.
Yeah.
Inside.
He is so big.
He is, man.
He is huge.
I tweeted that tonight. I hate that sentence. I'm so sorry. Can I start over? I agree with you guys. He is huge. The thing about Jokic is he's a skill, IQ, finesse guy, right? Like, that's just true. That's how we start talking about him. to the point where almost the last layer you get to is he is a tree. He's a mobile tree. He's 7 feet tall, essentially. He's strong as hell, and it is that country boy strength, man, like an Arkansas lineman. And so it's the floater touch, the IQ, all that stuff. But there's also this last layer of, and if you're smaller than him, there is nothing you can do.
Yeah, there was a play like early in the game where he just moved a guy and finished.
Yeah.
It looked like the play was like called dead.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think the play was still happening. And I love that move that he's going to now where he kind of wraps him, like gives him like a little chicken wing and then finishes it.
Yeah.
Like I love when he makes those type of plays. But yeah, I mean he's scoring like as easy as there has been inside right now. So I love that he's like, okay, now I'm gonna step out. Like I already know I'm gonna knock down everything inside. So like let's step out. Let's try some things. Let's have a little bit of fun, but let's dominate. Sombor double. That's how you play.
Yeah.
I think he looks eager, which I think is interesting. And another long summer, and then he plays for Serbia. And
Jokic also isn't a guy who always looks the most aggressive in preseason.
in preseason, that's exactly it, right? So I would not have sounded any alarms if he never took a shot for 4 games. But man, he has come in and looked very excited to get shots up and hoop. Like he's just playing. Defensively tonight, not a ton. But yeah, offensively, he's in midseason form already. We don't have to worry about Jokic.
It's just like in this type of environment, he's so good and such a beast inside that he'll look good in any type of situation.
Yeah.
Where, you know, some of these guys in the preseason, even, you know, star players, even all-star type guys like a Jamal Murray, you know, not all of them are going to look like their best selves regardless of the circumstance. But Jokic really in these 3 preseason games has looked the part. And, I mean, if you're just projecting forward about this Nuggets team, like, that's something you can feel really good about. Jokic just looks great. And that's where things always start with the Nuggets, so that's really encouraging for sure.
Yeah, it's why they have a chance.
Yeah.
That's why they have a chance.
How do you think Christian Braun looked with the starters, though, Dev? Because that's another thing we've been tracking this preseason. He gets to start again tonight. It appears he's leading the quote-unquote competition battle. He's started every one of these games so far. How do you think he looked specifically on offense? Because I think that's where the biggest questions around him and his fit with the starters lie.
Yeah, right now I wish he was taking a bit more of the 3-point shots like that are given to him because he's going to have to knock that down fluidly. And when he is knocking down shots, it like opens up the rest of the offense. So I want him to just get into a rhythm of if he catches it on that 3-point shot, just get the shot up. So like that's something I want to see more of. I do like the fact that he is changing it up every now and then though, because he has to be a cutter. He has to be a guy that you have to respect in different ways. And he seems to like crash boards too. So like there are going to be a lot of putback opportunities for him. I feel like he belongs. He doesn't look like he's lost out there, like where he doesn't know the place, which I think is great. And I wish this was a game where he showed his defensive dominance. I know you asked about the offense, but like the defensive like prowess, like of just showing like I'm gonna go and lock this guy up because they're taking all these 3-point shots, like, and he's not in a. That wasn't a game where he could have proved himself against like a Devin Booker or Bradley Beal, which you did want to see. So like take over in different ways or be a lot more aggressive. So I think all in all it was another like good continuity game for him to like just be part of the starters.
11 points, 4-9 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 4 rebounds for Christian Braun.
Yeah, decisive is probably going to be the key word for him, decisiveness throughout the season. You know, we've asked one by one, Malone, Jokic, all down the line, even Christian himself, you know, what's the key to finding the balance of aggression? And they've all just said to actually be aggressive. That's the mindset he needs to be in. So, you know, the corner 3 looked really good. And is that a shock, right? Because that was an open corner 3 that anyone's shooting, that Torrey Craig is taking, right?
Yep.
And
the shot he's got to take and make.
And he took it, and there was no thinking, and it's in. I kind of wonder if last year he was better above the breaks in the corners. I wonder if this year it'll be different for that reason. Just, okay, I'm in the corner, I shoot this. Above the break, maybe he's thinking about what to do a little more.
Well, if he's straight up replacing KCP, he's going to get a lot from the corner.
From the corner.
That's really where KCP started most plays from.
There was one possession, I can't remember the exact circumstance, but he picked up his dribble and got trapped just inside the arc. around like I think the right wing, and
Yeah.
he just picked it up and kind of pivoted and turned it over. And I think that was indecision. And he's not going to be perfect, but I just think like anyone else that's been in that lineup, if Jokic passes you the ball and you're open, he wants you to do something. He wants you to try to score. So decisive is the word. I thought there were some moments that looked good tonight. He did finish a -10, but
Yeah, which is weird because all the other starters were in the positives. He must have been, playing with the bench, and he definitely was, especially in the first half
Yeah.
and into the second half. 11 points in 30 minutes. That's pretty good production from Christian Braun. I mean, that's better than what KCP was giving you on a per 30-minute basis. I mean, KCP averaged 10, 11 points per game last year on a little over 30 minutes. So, I mean, if that's the type of production he's going to give you, that's great. And I'm pretty happy with the fit so far. It looks about how you expected it to. It looks pretty natural. The team looks comfortable with him there. So that looked pretty solid. Before we hit this second break, though, I want to go to the guy who he's in this competition with, and that's Julian Strawther, who definitely had one of the standout nights tonight. 21 points in 30 minutes, 7 of 12 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, and he got to the line 7 times. Also 4 assists. I mean, this was the best game Julian Strawther's played this preseason.
Yeah, he's a microwave scorer that just knows that he belongs. He looks so comfortable. It's against their third stringers, but this is a backup guard going, he's in his second year, and he just is hey, just give me the ball and I'm going to make things happen. I'm going to knock down the three. I'm going to get to the free throw line. And he has a knack for getting to the free throw line. He knows exactly how to contort his body into ways or
he also just looks to get into the lane and looks to get to the rim.
It's pretty fearless driving.
Really, and you don't see that from a guy that's pegged as a shooter, as a knockdown shooter. He's showing that he could do a little bit of everything, but him running that second unit, that looks good. You really do feel confident every time he shoots it when he's with that second unit, and he knows that he can score in bunches.
We talked about all the different little kind of duos, how Russ and Julian can make each other better, Julian and Šarić. We really saw Russ and Julian tonight. I think Russ has already identified Strawther as a weapon, a guy who's going to make his job easier out there.
Yep.
There was the one, it was pretty bad defense, but Hunter set a little ghost screen. I think Matt Brooks put this one out, and there was some miscommunication. Hunter is obviously a shooter archetype, at least. So Colin bites and he goes to contest the shot, and Julian's wide open in the corner. And Russ fires a laser in there. Another tough shot from the inbounds where he's curling. Russ finds him. That was a tough shot. And then there was a 3-man action possession with Šarić. I think Šarić brought the ball up the floor, at least cross half court. I can't remember exactly how it broke down, but Russ found Julian again.
Yep.
And the point here is, for whatever shots went in or didn't, the bench was playing basketball. But there was a wider variety of potential positive outcomes with the stuff they were running, the stuff they were trying to do. And I think we can all remember some of the years where the bench, you go, what am I even supposed to close my eyes and picture here? But even if guys miss some open shots tonight, you could see it tonight. You could see what at least those three playing together can unlock, and that I enjoyed.
Yeah, I don't think anybody improved their stock more than Julian Strawther did today. I mean, 21 points, which tied for a team high, and he was very loud the whole game. You knew Julian Strawther was out there, and like you were talking about with the bench and how it fits, it just makes so much more sense this year already. Russell Westbrook and Julian Strawther, say what you want about Russell Westbrook, and we'll see what type of year he has, but that's a good fit on paper.
Yeah.
Then you put Šarić in there. Then you maybe put a defender like Peyton Watson in there. You can see how this bench makes so much more sense already than it did last year. And that's just, from how we think these guys will fit together and the little that we've seen in the preseason. So Strawther, the bench, I feel like that's all really encouraging so far. What else stood out to you guys today?
I'll go to Michael Porter Jr.,
Okay.
who I think, first of all, they called a lot of stuff for Mike tonight. They really did. And I think there have been layers throughout Mike's career to doing this more, to implementing this, and the implementing it. The first layer in his early days, was Mike even recognizing that his number had been called? Sometimes he would straight up miss it, or the timing was off and the whole action was kind of screwed up, or the whole play. So he had to kind of first recognize when it was his turn, then get the timing right. But he spoke in media day about wanting to be in elite conditioning so that he can be used off ball. And I thought tonight he attacked every screen, every DHO with purpose. And this is important for me, for getting Mike involved more. It's not really putting the ball in his hands to dribble. It's, okay, he's coming off screens, he's open, but he sprinted into that screen. And he thought about the angle, and he took the right angle, and he's really open, and there's discipline in his footwork. Mike is such a talented shooter. Sometimes he comes off a screen, just lets it fly. Tonight, I thought the discipline was in, first of all, how active he was. His conditioning looked great. But then, how do I attack this screen? How hard do I attack this screen? And not just eventually I'll find a mid-ranger, but let me get myself open with this designed, action. That was really cool, man. That's something we've been clamoring to see more of from Porter and the Nuggets. And that narrow aspect of it, I was very encouraged by.
The part about them calling more plays for him, that's something we love to talk about, and we love to put it on our, off-season wish list and whatnot. But, Dev, it kind of seems like it's actually coming true. It does seem like they're calling more plays for him. It does seem like he's more involved than he was last year.
Yeah, it seems like there's like a real emphasis of when you touch the ball, get a shot up. And I seen that on the play that he turned down because the guy pushed out. It was a fast break. He's like, I want to shoot this no matter what. And I think that's the ideal right now. If you touch it, if you have a good look, shoot it. He's shooting it through double teams. Like that mid-range, he's so tall that nobody could get to it. And I think that they are explaining that to him, and it's like in his head, I'm gonna take this shot no matter what. So it's like the soft, floater, or like a mid-range pull up and things like that. That you see on like a Kevin Durant and things like that. But he's looking comfortable in that. And then you talk about the running the plays. I think that the one thing that makes it easier for him this year, it looks like he knows where he wants to go. Like where he's not trying to read if I should make this move or if I should make this play, but he's getting straight to that spot. And he's like, okay, I'm just going to make something happen now. So he looks way more comfortable right now, running the offense through him and knowing I'm going to take this three because I'm the 3-point shooter or I'm the scorer that can get going. So it's great right now to see him in a flow of I'm going to score. I'm going to score. I'm going to score because he is a scorer.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like he's in a great place. I mean, the people you're totally not concerned with right now are really feels like the 4 starters except Jamal Murray. It just seems like there's not really a lot to worry about or consternate about with those 4 guys. So Stars are in a pretty good place, all things considered. Let's hit another break. And some final takeaways on the other side. We've also got Adam Mares from the arena, who just finished up talking with Michael Malone and a couple players. I think that's happening right now. So we will chat with him, get his takeaways in a few minutes too.
How's your guys' internet? How's your mine is struggling here. Can you help me out on this one, Win?
UC Health, Ready, Set, Co. Shout out to our friends over at UC Health. Very excited to partner up with these guys. Coach Prime, he wants to help you and other Coloradans be your healthiest selves as the Chief Motivation Officer of UC Health's Ready, Set, Co Challenge. The goal of the challenge is to get Colorado back to its rightful place as the healthiest state. Apparently, we've fallen off. We're not the healthiest state. Disappointing. I'm embarrassed. We got to get back there, though. Here are some things to keep in mind when it comes to sleep and the Ready, Set, Co campaign with UC Health. 8 hours of sleep is the magic number. Make a good night's sleep a priority. Put your phone down when you go to bed. Try guided sleep apps as well. I don't know if you guys have ever used a guided sleep app, but maybe you should. If you want to join UC Health's Ready, Set, Co Challenge, click the link in the show notes. Go to uchealth.org/Ready, Set, Co. Again, 8 hours of sleep. It's the magic number. Maybe try some guided sleep apps. For more info, to check out their Ready, Set, Co challenge, click the link in the show notes, uchealth.org/Ready, Set, Co.
Get Empire Today in there. The floors will be so nice you might want to sleep on those, but I don't think UC Health recommends that. Empire Today is the best in flooring. You know this because you know about Empire. You know their name. You know the jingle. They've been in your brain for years. And now that you, like me, are finally an adult, you can use their services, right? You can actually get some flooring in your house. So with Empire Today, you get to shop home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a price match guarantee. They have the best out there. They have a lot of copycats. How can you spot them? The liars that say they advertise the lowest prices. It's not that they're lying about the price. They might be low, but they're so low because the product's so low quality that Empire Today wouldn't even bother carrying them. They're all about providing the quality flooring you need and also helping you kind of not be overwhelmed by all of the choice. So schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive $350 off when they use the promo code DNVR. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/DNVR for details. Who's in our bar right now?
Well, this is what I call the witching hour of the bar. 9:30 on a NFL Sunday.
Yeah. Whoever's left is not drinking
If you're
water.
still at the bar right now, first off, shout out to you.
Shout out.
Secondly, you're just blacked out at this point. You've been drinking all
been a
day.
long day.
It might be Tyler down there, DNVR zone. And I don't know if D-Line's still in the house.
I think it's exactly who it is.
Are those the
I
two
think
people
it's our
down there?
guys. That explains a lot.
Actually, maybe this will come in segment 4. We have a drunk take from D-Line.
Oh, perfect. Let's
It's
make sure
a
we air that.
pre-recorded video. I haven't listened to it. Tiff has it. We might play it in segment 4.
Goodness.
I don't know.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
All right, back here in the Toyota Losers Lounge. We are presented by Bet365, Never Ordinary. Use the code DNVR365. Download the app, sign up, bet along with us. We'll still have our, Bet365 betting segments for the pregame show when we start those up again. Maybe we'll have them for the final 2 games of the regular or preseason. Maybe we'll have them once the regular season starts, but we will definitely have them again. What else do we have from this game? Westbrook had some interesting moments. Zeke Naji played well.
Yeah. I mean, Zeke has to play well against the guys he's playing against in preseason, Not to take all the wind out of the sails, but
You are right, yeah.
it's if he doesn't look good in those minutes, then it's I don't know where else you go from here, but it's good that he's at least winning those minutes. He is by far the highest paid player out there in preseason crunch time, so he does look more confident, but he should in that
I'm going
environment.
to tell you where you're wrong.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have to, because we've seen a lot of times that he has not looked how he looks right now. I get what you're saying as far as him being paid, because you are supposed to stand out about that. You also are supposed to be one of those 9 real guys on the team. But if you have those type of performances like he had today, that was a little bit shocking for me. I was excited to see him be assertive. Offensively, he's scoring, he's efficient.
Hit
He
2
got
threes.
He hit 2 threes. We have not seen that in a long time. And
When do you think was the last time he hit 2 threes in a game?
it's gonna be a while before he changed his 3 probably.
Yeah.
But also even defensively, he got a block. That was a real block. He tried trash talk. He got a steal. Right now he's that was a good game for him. Really.
Are you Dev,
don't see it.
are you buying Zeke Naji stock?
Don't do this to yourself, Dad. You don't have
I need to
do
know.
this.
Are you
I'll
buying?
tell you right now.
You don't
I'm
have to.
buying Zeke Naji preseason stock.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that even
He
mean?
ain't playing in the regular season. So how am I going to have any stock if he's not going to be on the floor? But
penny
in the
stocks.
preseason, he's going to get his opportunities, and I hope he makes the best of it right there where it gives you hope.
Okay, the last time Zeke Naji hit 2 threes in a game was March 9th, 2023. So he did not do it last year at all. Got to go back 2 years. March 9th, 2023. He actually had 18 points in that game, too. My God.
Dang.
Against the Kings.
A couple more guys I could talk about tonight. Hunter Tyson. Let's just put it this way. Has to hit the shots. That is very obvious analysis.
we
but
should talk about this.
He has to.
This is his opportunity.
And we hear, look, I talked about the kind of open gym shooter archetype on the show right before the weekend. It's great that he hits them in the G League and in the open gym and in the scrimmages. He has to hit them in the NBA.
0 of 6 tonight from the floor, 0 of 4 from 3. Most of them were pretty good looks.
Because and I like Hunter, but he is not a good defender. So if those shots are not going in, it looks rough. So, I mean, every shooter doesn't look great when their shot isn't there. I get that. But for Hunter, it's particularly important. It's his NBA skill. They just have to fall.
0 of 6 from the field, 0 of 3 from the three-point line.
0 of 4.
at 0-4. Every single one of his shots are open. I think that's what is like worrisome. It's not like he's creating or breaking anybody down off of the dribble to like have a contested shot. Like you can see that when it comes to like Michael Porter shots, like they're contested in a way. He like is trying different things off of the move, step backs and things. Hunter Tyson doesn't have that type of difficulty on his shots. He's just missing open shots. And for a guy that's deemed a shooter, we have not seen him shoot the ball well. There's like all of this open gym stuff and like with nobody around, but when it goes into the game, the guy gets the yips. Like, and it's really rough to like see him have these type of games.
He had one really bad miss too.
If Zeke Naji, and we've seen a lot of them, so not if, when Zeke Naji was having these type of games, he got destroyed for them. So we got to give Hunter the same type of attention. Like you're not making shots. You grab a few boards, you know, here and there, but like they're not paying you to just grab rebounds. No. You got to knock down shots. You got to be, you know, something offensively, especially if you don't have that defense right now. So Hunter Tyson, his stock is down.
You're not buying the preseason stock for Hunter Tyson.
Which is probably good news for Peyton, not to cause drama.
It's a good point.
Malone did talk about how he was curious about Hunter and was going to try to play him. And what you definitely don't want during a hamstring injury is to see the guy who's fighting for your spot look awesome. Now, I know their teammates. I'm not creating drama where there is none. But as a matter of fact, there's a position battle there, and I don't think Hunter separated himself from Peyton over these last 3 games.
Yeah, so. And I think there's really only a position battle because P. Watt's hurt.
Correct. Yes, I should reframe that.
Like if P. Watt was healthy, I don't think they're neck and neck in terms of the 8th or 9th spot in the rotation.
No, position battle is actually the wrong way to frame it. Yeah.
But what could have happened is Peyton Watson's out. If Hunter Tyson had played very well in the preseason, if he came out and went 4-4 from 3 tonight instead of 0-4, you can start a conversation about should this guy play even when Peyton Watson is healthy. I mean, if he's not going to make shots, I don't know how much of a conversation there is to have about that.
Not really one at all. Yeah.
But he's got a golden opportunity, and I'm sure he knows that. Like, there's a spot in the rotation up for grabs because P. Watt is hurt. This is the team that needs shooters. They don't have a ton of guys cut from his alleged cloth as this knockdown, catch and shoot guy. This is as good of an opportunity as he might ever have to capture a rotation spot in the NBA. So the pressure's on, and he probably has like one more game. Because I don't know if Peyton Watson plays in the next preseason game, but I wonder if he's back after that. So he might just have like one more game to really make a statement. What do we think of Westbrook? Kind of a quiet game from Russell Westbrook, but I thought he had some good moments, and the pace, obviously a lot of that starts with him, and I thought the Nuggets' pace tonight was pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like every game of Westbrook's going to be like a mixed bag games. Like where you have to like put your hand in and pull out like either it's a good take or it's a bad one for him, really. Like, I really love the pace from him. I feel like the Nuggets are playing a lot faster. I feel like he was a part of that, you know, throwing it like full speed, getting up the court, trying to like make things happen. And he's such a downhill offensive guy that even when he misses, it gives Jokic a chance to like go and get tip-ins and things like that. And they crash the board because he's prone to like not having good touch and missing around the rim. Yeah. If he made some of those shots, oh, man, it would be incredible. Truly, he gets to wherever he wants. So, like, hopefully he finds that with the Nuggets, because if he does, they're going to be very dangerous. Also, the passing. We already know the type of passer that Westbrook is, but I feel like we didn't get to see it a lot last year. And he's able to, like, put that on display right now. Nobody drops their head when Westbrook, makes a bad play, because they're like, he's trying so hard, he's playing.
He's gonna find you if you're open,
and he's gonna find you. There was he had some good passes in this game where he found guys or created guys open, not just because they were open and he made the pass. He made them open, and I love those type of plays from Westbrook. So,
well, how about this, Dev? 8 assists against the Celtics in 19 minutes, 6 assists tonight in 24 minutes. I mean, the assist numbers are there.
And this one looks better. So I think that he's starting to get a bit more comfortable as well. So like these minutes matter for guys like that. And him getting a look with the starters because Jamal wasn't there, that's also a new look that they have to go to at times. And this was an opportunity for them to see him in this look right now. So I feel like if there was a guy that this game was important for, I think it was Westbrook, because we might be able to see a little bit of this right now if he's going to be their backup point guard option.
Yeah, I think Noah Linden dropped it in the chat. They brought him in to play make, and that's what he's been doing so far. I like the Westbrook minutes, and I think one way that this will be different for me than maybe some of the fans of his previous stops and their expectations, I'm not sitting here holding my breath that he's going to go 8 for 8 on any given night, right? If some missed shots at the rim, some missed jumpers, some poor shots, to me, that's like the turbulence taken off at DIA. It's going to be there, right? Like, that's
That was
okay.
good.
But it doesn't mean you're going down. And if he's playmaking, you might be in a better spot than you were last year. I like this aspect of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's been a big positive so far.
the Nuggets have had backup point guards that miss shots.
Yep.
We've seen that. But how about guys that also get downhill, that get other guys involved more? This is good. I think you can see it with Julian. I'm hopeful about Šarić, but so far I like the Russ minutes, guys.
Yeah, it's been definitely a positive experience so far. Let's hit our final break, and on the other side, we will get to Adam Mars live at the arena. I heard that Michael Malone had some fire in the post game.
Ooh.
I heard that he was getting some takes off
I can believe that.
post game tonight, so we'll get to that after this.
Hey, strange things are happening at the Circle K, fellas. Like the Inner Circle membership program. We all love snacks. We're podcasters and media people. We're big into snacks, especially snacks you can grab quick and on the go. Circle K, an abundance of riches in that department. Plus, they've got memberships now. This Inner Circle program, it's a free membership. It's easy to download. You get the Circle K app. You look for the Inner Circle thing, and then you enter your email and phone number to be fully enrolled. After that, they're going to start sending you deals every day on food, drinks, and more. Sign up for Inner Circle with the Circle K app. Receive 25 cents off per gallon on your next 5 fill-ups. How neat is that? Download the Circle K app and sign up for Inner Circle for exclusive offers, new offers, purchase clubs, and sweepstakes are uploaded weekly.
Guys, it's the busiest time of year here at DNVR. We got the colleges still playing. We've got Broncos, Nuggets, Avs. So that means we have a lot of events here at DNVR. You can hit that QR code there on the screen. It will take you to our website where you can see all the different events we have going on. But let me shout out a couple in particular and some to keep your eyes on. Our Broncos tailgate, best Broncos tailgate around.
So fun.
Best in the city. It is at the back lot of Sports Fan at 18th and Federal. Primo Hoagie, Sexy Pizza, Breck Brew, Breck Distillery, games, great views. You can even get on camera with Brendan Vogt there too.
Super fun.
So we have a great Broncos tailgate for every game. If you're going to Buffs games in Boulder, great tailgate there as well. When Colorado takes on Cincinnati on October 26th, be there. You can get a tailgate ticket at thednvr.com/events. You can get a whole package there. That includes parking as well. Also, Nuggets and Avs takeovers, they're coming up. They're right around the corner. First Avs takeover is coming up soon, and I've heard there are going to be some special guests. So keep an eye out for that.
I love that Avs beat. Uh-oh.
It's a great beat.
Whose mic wasn't working?
thednvr.com/events. You can hit that QR code right there on the screen. It's going to be a great fall.
I was just going to say that that Washington Capitals takeover might be the last time you get to see one of the greatest goal scorers of this generation play in Colorado.
November 15th, Avs takeover against the Capitals.
Super producer
Ovechkin.
Tiff.
That's who you're talking about, right, Tiff? Alex Ovechkin.
Ovechkin's kind of like
Are you an Ovechkin guy, Dev?
Absolutely.
I knew it. See, I
Absolutely.
knew it. I knew it.
I'm like with the greats.
Yeah.
Ovechkin and Wayne.
He's going to be up there, yeah.
Ovechkin's kind of like the James Harden of the NBA or the NHL. He's like, yeah, I train hard, but I party harder. You know what I mean? Like, what if I drove this sports car into a fountain, you know?
All right, let's go live to Ball Arena. We have Adam Mars just finished up talking with Michael Malone. Michael Porter talked. Julian Strawther talked. I've been seeing some interesting quotes coming. Can you hear us? I don't know. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. You cut out for a second, but I think we're all good now, fellas. Yeah, Harrison, you said that there was fire from Michael Malone. Quite the opposite. I think it was, we all know Michael Malone's rage meter. He was beyond mad right? Like he was almost calm because he was past the point of being, too upset. So obviously not happy with the Nuggets losing to the third string Suns tonight, but he whittled it down to two things, and I think they're both really interesting takeaways. Number one, he says we can't guard anybody one-on-one, blow-bys all night, and we were in constant rotation and help. And he was asked, well, is that scheme-related? Is it guys figuring things out? He said, no. The defensive disposition isn't anywhere where it needs to be, and guys need to just take on the assignment of guarding their guys. They get up, they make 23 three-pointers tonight, the Phoenix Suns do. And by the way, Denver, I looked it up last year, only allowed 17 threes as the most they allowed any team. Tonight in the preseason, 23 made three-pointers allowed. So that's a huge note. And if you want to whittle it down to something else, why are they so bad? He said that I don't think we're in great conditioning right now. Look like some of the guys were winded and a little tired out there, and collectively he thought the team is just not in shape to play at the level they need to defend. I thought both of those comments were incredibly interesting. I mean, the one-on-one defense, that's a Michael Malone staple, but the conditioning, I think everybody watching at home, and when you're here, you get to see guys when they're not on the camera, when they're not in the frame. A lot of hands on knees and guys that clearly look like if the season starts in a week, I mean, that might just be enough time for them to get in the shape they're going to need.
Man, so I meant to say Michael Malone was breathing fire, like fire was coming out of his ears. That's what I meant.
I'm glad to hear it, because I think, look, we could sit up here and say it, and it maybe sounds a certain way to some people, but I think we're sort of at this bottom line place now. I think particularly Jamal Murray, and he didn't play in that third quarter, and he looked pretty winded in the first half, and we've been told he's healthy. And I know it's not just Jamal, but I think maybe some guys need to hear this, right? Like it's a fair criticism right now. I don't think it was true of every starter tonight, but I understand this criticism from Malone.
I do too. And Jamal, of course, we're all going to have our eye on him because of his reputation, in my opinion, well-earned reputation and coming into it. But I didn't think it was just him. Even Joker tonight, I thought looked a little bit more tired than I thought he would. Yeah. Now, win, loss, those types of things, Jokic had the ball in the post a bunch of times. He didn't attack. He had some little guy on him. And I think that had as much to do with just working things into the offense. But nonetheless, here's what I take from it. He even went back. Michael Malone had a great line where he said, I think this league has gotten soft in that, they say don't push guys. I mean, the classic Malone line. But I think he has a point here, and I think there's something to kind of keep your ear to the ground on. What's the big storyline about last season? Guys were tired at the end of the year, overworked. So when Michael Malone says, I think the league's gone a little soft, to me, I hear that, right or wrong. I hear it as a little bit of a criticism of, if we're going to ease our way into the season, like that's not how you win. That's not how you get competitive. And maybe us taking it slow this point, it's not going to be our ticket. So something to keep your ear to the ground on, but I thought it was interesting. We also talked to Julian Strother, who I thought had a great game. I mean, if there were a couple bright spots, Julian and Michael Porter, we talked to both guys, unsurprisingly. And he said, first off, the game just feels completely different. I'm able to find my spots a little bit better. And he says, I sacrificed my whole summer, so it feels amazing to be out here and to feel like the game has slowed down and to see certain things paying off. He mentioned that he's been attached to Russell Westbrook since he got here. He's constantly asking him questions, picking his brain. And just says, like we've seen with Peyton Watson and Nikola Jokic in years past, he's just attached to Russ and just trying to learn as much as he can. But one detail about his game that I thought stood out tonight, one, he got to the line 7 times. He got to the rim a couple times, got to his floater. And he says, being more aggressive going downhill, it's a mindset. And I think that, to me, the three-point shooting, we know he's a good shooter. Is he a great shooter? We're going to find out. He shot well tonight. But getting to the rim is what opens up his game to be more than just a shooter, and it's something the team needs. And I thought more than anything, that's what I was impressed with Julian tonight, getting to the paint and finishing through contact. The and one drive he had, a hard drive, hit the ground hard. That was a mindset of, hey, you got to go and attack the basket.
Yeah, I mean, Strother probably improved his stock more than anybody tonight, I would say.
Agreed.
He was great.
Yeah, defense, obviously wasn't necessarily discussed with him. I think that's going to be a work in progress, but offensively tonight, very encouraging from him. And Michael Porter, I just am so impressed with the start he has had this year. And I said in the last post-game show, I wanted to see one more before I started going in too hard. Michael Porter looks phenomenal. We talk about guys needing to get in better shape. He is not one of them. The Nuggets are running more sets for him. Michael Malone has said we're low on 3-point shooters, so we need to run things to get guys, our 3-point spacers, we need to get them more open 4 threes, and that requires Michael moving around the court a little bit more, and I thought he did a great job of that tonight, hit some shots that required movement all around the court, catch and go up, and he just did such a good job of that. And he said it's his mindset. Being in shape, he came into the season in shape, but even in these games, he's pushing himself to run as hard as he can on every play and to take shots off of those actions. And I thought that stood out tonight.
Yeah. I mean, if you're the Nuggets and you want everybody to come into camp in shape and ready to go, you've just got to be so happy and also excited about how MPJ has come into this season. It's so encouraging.
And he has a bit, Mike hasn't been smiling a lot this preseason. That's one note I have. And I mean, honestly, I think that's a trait of Mike, I think, just in general. But I think this year in particular, he's been really focused, really serious, almost has a mean edge to him. And you can see it. That focus is really, he's hunting on the court. When he's running around, setting screens, doing things, he's hunting for opportunities. And he says, the team doesn't have a lot of volume 3-point shooters. Jamal shoots the 3, but he likes to score from all over the court. Joker, obviously, he's in the post. He's in the mid-range. He says, it's up to me and Julian, really, to be the 3-point volume on this team. And so with that mind frame, for him not just to be in the quarter, he's got to move around, and that's why he is so focused on his conditioning and says there's more room for him to go in that department over this next week as well.
Mike's the best, man.
Love it. Got anything else from Ball Arena?
No, I mean, I'd only say that, coming out of the half, the team just had a lack of energy that was very noteworthy. And it was coming out of the break before the game started, getting shots up, and then especially to start that second half. And it was a concern because playing the starters, obviously not Jamal, but everybody else, conditioning was so clearly a goal in that third quarter. Like, go out there and let's see how you look. And the team looked tired, but they also looked a little unmotivated, which was a concern, given how close the game was. And obviously Phoenix came back. So something for me to keep my eye on. They have another home game. They have one preseason game after that. And the Nuggets have not yet showed us anything close to a 48-minute effort. And I think that's one thing that with these 2 games left, I suspect the starters are only going to play 1. If we don't see that in one of these last 2 games, I think you should be concerned going into night 1 of, all right, well, we're trusting them to do something they didn't do tonight. And, hopefully we see it.
Yeah. Last thing before you go, we're just talking about this, I think, in segment 2, but the starters come out for the third quarter. Obviously, Michael Malone wants them to get their conditioning, get a little rhythm. Didn't seem like they were that interested in it. But what did you think about Jamal Murray being the one starter that didn't play to start that third quarter? That was weird, I thought.
It was very weird. It's very weird to me. Jamal's going to be a storyline, and I think the fan base is rightfully skeptical of him given how last season and this summer went. I thought he's done some good things, in the games that we've watched him play, but tonight is certainly noteworthy that he wasn't out there. It was noteworthy conversation in the media. It was noteworthy, and people were asking in the post game. So just like I said with the team's conditioning and 48-minute effort, Jamal has only shown us a 24-minute effort so far in his preseason game. So I'd love to see, one, is he capable of doing that? He did come out in the fourth quarter and sat on the bench. I don't think there's an injury or anything like that, but it's definitely a big takeaway from today.
All right, Adam. Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
Great job, Hoss.
Great work. Killed it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Just a couple more minutes left in the show here. We have D-Line's drunk take that we can get to. I'm a little scared to get to it, though.
Should we hit super chats before?
Or we could do them after.
I mean, you're in charge, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you how to do this.
Okay. Have you listened to it before ahead of time, Tiff? Okay, now
it can't go that bad, man.
Now I'm
excited to hear it. I'm excited.
All right, it's only 40 seconds.
It's 40 seconds.
That's a big encouragement.
Are we ready? Is he? I don't think he's still here. I think I heard the bar staff kicking somebody out. Okay, let's hear it. Let's play it. This is D-Line's drunk take that he recorded, I think, before the game ended. Let's hear it.
Hey everybody, this is D-Line. This is the drunk report of the game. I'm recording this. It's important to note, before the game is over, I got bored with it. Here are my takeaways from the game. Jokic looks good. I've decided to call his beard the winter bush. You can join me or not join me on that. I don't care. Monte Morris was balling. Monte Morris was absolutely balling, and so was Colin Gillespie. I miss both of them dearly. I saw some interesting interplay with MPJ and Jokic and Westbrook. Something to watch there. I can't believe the Westbrook has never finished a layup with the Denver Nuggets. Stuff to be kind of excited about, stuff to be nervous about. Overall, I would give this performance a 5 drunks out of 10 drunks.
Okay. Drop some big words there. Interplay.
Interesting.
I enjoyed that one.
Well done, D-line.
Some good takes. He touched on the Suns, which we spent 0 time on. Tonight,
Monte
so.
did look awesome.
He was
Monte
cooking. He
was
wasn't
cooking.
missing nothing. Also, Chris Dunn looked good.
Yeah, dude. He
Not
really
Chris
did.
Dunn.
Ryan
Ryan
Dunn,
Dunn.
the rookie.
Ryan
yeah.
Dunn. He looked great.
He did look good.
6 of 11 from 3. By the way, his big weakness in the draft. Everyone knows.
Three-point shooting.
Three-point shooting.
But I mean, how about him just shooting it? How many times? 11 times from 3.
11 threes. And he hit 6 of them. So, hey, well played, Ryan Dunn. Well played, fella.
Monte, 20 points, 7 assists. I do miss Monte.
Monte was cooking,
He was cooking.
unironically.
I love when he
cooked
did the
Nuggets.
ISO. He was trying to ISO some of the guys. He got yoked one time with the. It was supposed to be and one. It wasn't and one, but yeah, he was. You gotta miss Monte.
You just have to, man.
I know, man. You really got to.
How about the legion of former Nuggets on the Suns, though?
I know.
I
like,
didn't realize.
the Suns are running back the Nuggets from like 2018-19.
I mean, I knew Monte and then Colin, but also Mason
Plumlee.
and Bol
Nurkic.
Yeah,
who
they got
didn't
like
play tonight.
they like a full. There's 6 of them.
Yeah, they just love that Nuggets bench from 2019.
Yeah, well, how could you not?
Every Nugget backup.
No.
From that. They might as well get Will Barton.
Yeah, who's
He
cooking
probably
in
has. I
China.
would guess he has an NBA opt out in his China contract. I would guess.
Yeah, probably.
All right, let's hit super chats and get out of here. Let's see what we got.
CJ Jones.
That's really smart.
I got it. Been
There's
a while.
no way you can read that.
Been a while. First post game show since the end of the summer. Missed you guys this summer and the season. Excuse me. My trip to Colorado happened at the same time as summer league. Sad. Let's
Oh,
get hyped for
man.
this year. Remind them.
Remind them that is, I think, our official motto.
It is. We haven't technically unveiled it.
Yeah.
We
Just kidding.
We filmed some stuff we haven't released yet.
Just kidding. I didn't say that. Good to have you back, CJ, though.
Cedric, exquisite Derons needed. Vote Monte or Mason. Who do you miss? Monte.
Yeah, Monte. for
Monte. James, Jimmy, key to this year, Malone can't play Jamal with Russ. That's going to happen, though. But Russ Straw Saric is looking like our best bench core in the Jokic era. Can't wait for PY.
Malone going back to a 3-guard lineup tonight.
But hold on, that trio looked real good though.
I
It,
agree.
it did
They
look
really-
good.
That
yeah.
was the first time that I felt like they were on the same page.
I
So
agree
like
with
that
that.
was cool.
You know, Murray has been in preseason mode since March. Andrew Boley. Gillespie is averaging 10 points per game on 50, 40, 90 splits this
Is he,
preseason.
man?
Do you guys know why Booth let him walk?
I don't think the Nuggets liked him. I don't think they thought he was good enough. I'll say. I just don't think they did.
Malone liked him.
Malone did like him.
Malone played him on the
Yeah.
2A over the guy on a contract.
Michael Malone did think he was good enough.
Maybe a good example of some of the disagreement between the coaching staff and the front office.
I think you're spot on.
David, we love Maul, but Mo post-game said he is disappointing in the conditioning. If Maul had to sit the second half because he wasn't in shape again, that's the things that are pissing us fans off about our max point guard.
Yeah. Look, I mean,
That's fair.
if that is what happened, I don't know. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. Like, that would be unacceptable. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand the
You should
frustration.
be frustrated with
Yeah.
that.
David, again, AG jumper looks smoother. 36 to 37% from him would be huge. He talked about wanting to show people how much he's worked on it. It does look smoother, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
Aaron Gordon, we spent no time on him tonight, did go 2 of 3 from 3-point range in an undershirt.
Oh, yeah.
What's your guys' take on the long sleeve shirt Aaron Gordon's wearing?
I think he has to have a new big tattoo that he's on.
It's got to be.
Oh, you're so smart.
because his arms are like way open. They also like had those shirts today, from his his brother.
Yeah.
I think that he's gonna have probably like a full sleeve or something like that. Because he has like open spots. For him to be as tatted as he is, he has open spots on his arm. So that's what I'm going with. But if he's knocking down a 3-point shot like that, maybe
He
he
might
needs
just
to
keep
the
the
shirt on.
undershirt.
No one else is doing it. You might as well do it.
Literally nobody else. Nobody's playing with a long sleeve shirt in the NBA in 2024.
One more from Edgar Walker. If you have 10 drunks in a room, and get 5 of them to agree on something, that's elite. 5 out of 10 drunks is a crazy rating, D-line.
Our
That's a good
guy
point.
Edgar, thanks for the super
It's good
chat,
logic.
man. Glad you're tuning in. I haven't seen you in a while. Get down to the bar.
It's probably on the road, man. That guy's in a different state every day.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight. We are so close to being fully back for the regular season, but still have a couple more preseason games to get you. Drop us a like. Thanks for hanging out in the Toyota chat. Thanks for hanging out with us during this Nuggets loss. 118-114. Denver's 0-3 in the preseason. That's okay, though. They're back, I believe, on Tuesday.
Yep.
We, I think, are back tomorrow.
That sounds right.
We'll talk to you guys then. Have a good night.
We all silly like the mayor.